Hey, this is Gabe Turner with What's Up Columbia, and today we are talking with Avery Worstell. He is with Country Financial Insurance, and one of the reasons I wanted to start doing these videos is partly to do articles for the What's Up Columbia newsletter if you're not subscribed yet. But I thought if I'm talking to these people anyway, we might as well make a video of it, and so more people can get to know them in the flesh more than just in words. So I get to talk to all these business owners all over Columbia and Spring Hill and around town, and a lot of people don't get to know them like I know them. I'm just a curious person, and I love the stories. Like, okay, you're an insurance guy. There's a million insurance guys, but what's everybody's unique, everybody's special. So I want to learn about who they really are, and so this is why I want these shows are kind of to let other people in Columbia and Spring Hill and around here get to know the people behind the businesses because there's so many awesome people around here. So Avery, welcome and tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you are homegrown Murray County, so that's kind of unique. That's the first unique thing about Avery. So tell us about that. What's your story?
Yeah, well, hey, Gabe, thanks for having me. Been great getting to read What's Up Columbia every morning and hear a little bit about more about what you guys do. And yeah, it's awesome getting to be on here with you. But yeah, so we moved here whenever I was 2 years old. So went to Spring Hill Elementary School, Spring Hill Middle School, graduated from Spring Hill High School, and yeah, I'm married, got a little baby. We've got a month and a half year old baby. We've got a little tiny baby, and he's
Yeah.
he's amazing. And yeah, so got married over here. Was actually am on staff at a church in Spring Hill um, with its Lifehouse Church. I oversee all the student ministries over there, and yeah, was having a baby. He was married, and was like, all right, let's look at something maybe a little bit different to do. And met some of these guys at Country Financial, and just absolutely fell in love with the team, fell in love with the product, the process. It's fantastic. So I've loved it and love helping people, love serving people, and it's just another outlet that I can care for people in our community.
Cool. So you are a youth minister with so tell us a little bit, how many kids are involved in this youth group and
Yeah, we've got it's a smaller youth group. There's around 30 to 35 kids, but
awesome.
I mean they're incredible. It's a great group of young kids. Super fun to just see them. You know, they start out as sixth graders, and you just see them continue to grow and learn and um, be changed. And so it's super rewarding. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be if I had to say what my passion was in life, it's just, investing into young kids. So that's my why. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
And then insurance is just it's a way that I can continue just investing in the next generation, really.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's what I love. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us about how did you choose to go into insurance in the first place? So you've been a
Yeah.
youth leader for a while, you worked in that ministry stuff, so how did you choose to go this direction?
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever I started off, me and my wife got married, I was like, all right, got to go find car insurance, got to go find home insurance, all the stuff, life insurance, and just the whole process. I just felt super overwhelmed, definitely undereducated. Didn't really feel like I had someone I knew that I could be like, hey, could you walk me through this? Tell me what I should be looking for, and so I did. I mean, we just made uninformed decisions starting off, and it was like, it just felt like products were being sold to us, and we really just didn't have a choice. We were just kind of at the mercy of these insurance professionals, it felt like. And so I was like, man, this is something I want to look into. I want to research. I want to know what I'm talking. And then just the opportunity came open for me to open my own agency with Country Financial,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so I think that's a lot of what I'm doing now. I had a client call in late last night, and he was like, "Hey, we need auto insurance tomorrow, and just the cheapest you can get me." And I was like, "All right, pump the brakes. Like, I want to help you, but I want you to understand what you're saying when you say that, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, just educate. Like, hey, for $5 more a month." you can get literally quadruple the coverage, and you're going to be in a better place for you and your family.
Hmm.
And so it's just things like that. I mean, I care about people. I want to help people, especially young people who are, either getting insurance for the first time or just feel like, man, no one's really explained this to me. I just kind of have it, because I have to.
Right.
I think that's kind of because I felt that way. I felt kind of taken advantage of. Oh, it's a young guy that whatever this. So I want to be a resource for people my age and even other people who are like, yeah, I really, I've gone on my whole life, but I don't really understand this stuff. So I
Yeah,
want
there's
to be a
probably a big
resource.
segment of the population. I'm probably partly me. I probably need to talk sometime. but
Yeah, it's great.
because you have to have it, and you don't want to think about it because it's like, oh, my parents always did that. Whatever. Or this smart guy. He seems like a smart guy he's in the
Yeah,
office and he knows what
yeah,
he's
right.
doing. So I just say whatever. Sure, tell me what
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
Some people are probably more analytical about it and stuff, but a lot
yeah,
of
for
us are
sure.
not.
Yeah, and I mean, and nor should you be. You run newsletters and you do marketing and you help people that way. And so you would have
Right.
professionals coming like, hey, I feel lost in this space. Can you kind of show me where to go? So, I mean, we don't expect people to. Most people that I meet with, I'm like, how did you come up with this? What is the thought process? And like, the guy just sold it to me. And so I
Yeah.
at least want to be a resource. Like, even if it doesn't make sense to do business with me, at the end of our appointment, you're like, oh, I understand insurance a little bit. I if I ever have to shop insurance again, I know what to look for. So
Yeah.
that would be our goal. Everyone's busy, and I don't want you to ever have to think about your insurance, especially if something happens. You're like, you know what, Avery's got me covered. I've got his cell phone number. I'm going to give him a call, and he's going to take care of everything. I mean,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
what I
and
want to do for
having
people.
somebody that's really got your back is big. Like it could
Yeah,
be. I know a lot of times in my past, it's like, well, just call the one that was on TV,
yeah,
and it's they give you something quick over the phone, and you're done. And like, okay,
yeah,
that's taken care of. But
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that we haven't thought about. So, and if that's why it's nice to have a local guy, uh, who's actually got your best interests and all that stuff, not just out for a buck.
yeah, for sure.
But so
Definitely want
tell
to do
us
that.
why did you go with Country Financial? I know you like that company a lot.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Now, so I think I've met some of the leaders here. Tyler Richardson, he's up in Franklin, Cool Springs area. Just an amazing guy. He leads our team, and then there's some other agents in Spring Hill, Joe and Jeremy. Just have been super helpful. I'm new to insurance, and they're like take the shirt off their back and give it to you kind of guys. That's what they do. They'll drop everything to help you. And I had an appointment with one of the guys the other day, and he was just taking time out of his day to invest in me and to coach me. And he's like, you know what, someone did it for me.
Mm,
And I think that's just it's kind of rare to find that. And maybe the professional world, it's like, all right, well, if you're going to cut my profit margins or, take my time, I need to get something for you. And these
yeah.
guys are so amazing. I mean, one of their assistants, they're like, hey, call her and, she'll help you work through this on the phone. I had a client I was working with and just want to give them the best service we could. And they're like, hey, call her and she'll be able to help you out. And it's like, that's their assistant that they're paying. And they're just generous
Okay.
enough to let me to take her time. And I mean, so I think that's the kind of company it is. And even Country, like you've probably never seen a Country Financial commercial.
I
No
don't
one
think
ever
so.
has.
Yeah.
So what the company does, instead of investing, dollars into getting Patrick Mahomes or, whoever on their commercials, they actually give money back to the employees to invest in different nonprofits and organizations that they want to support.
Huh.
So I think it's a values based company, and you get that from day one. It's like, man, this is a company and a culture that I want to be a part of. That
Cool.
our slogan is experience more.
Mhm.
And so like your process, if you meet with any Country Financial agent, it seems like everyone I've met, they genuinely care about people and want to help people.
Okay.
So that's kind of a little bit, and this is actually Country Financial's 100-year birthday.
Right.
Um, so they started in 1925.
Yeah.
They were a group of farmers in Illinois, and so they still kind of have those roots. It's just it's a great company. There's this thing called AM Best. It rates insurance companies, and we've been A plus for 90 consecutive years. So
Wow.
it's a great company. Most people have never heard of them because they're not putting out the $1 million commercials on the Super Bowl. They're
Right.
they're giving money back to employees to invest in the community so that
So they actually give, so like at the end of the year or something, they give employees money, but do they have to like verify that they gave it to a charity or something?
yeah, so they have some of them like that are registered and you can give straight to them, and then others that you can apply to and
Oh,
get it all registered. So it's pretty
but they
amazing
let
that
the employees choose
yeah,
where it goes. It's not just some VP that does it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's
Huh.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just super. I mean, they take care of their employees. Everyone that I've talked, they've been with the company and they're like, man, this company, they care about you. So
Yeah. So
so it's just been
why
an amazing experience.
why should so I know people will ask
Yeah,
you're you're fairly new at doing this.
yeah,
So why I don't know. Some skeptic is going to ask,
yeah.
why should I go with you, Avery?
Yep. Yep. No, for sure. I think one thing that my mentor has just ingrained in me is like time in the business doesn't equate to knowledge in the business.
Okay.
And so we have had like our training process is incredible. The mentor mentee relationship between agents is phenomenal. So I think I just step into a team that has years of experience, and I think we try to do things the right way. Even like this client I was talking to late last night, whoever it was, gave him state minimum liability insurance, and he had no idea. So I think where we have value is we want to advise our clients. We
Yeah.
want to educate, advise, and we don't, if you went to the doctor and they're like, "Hey, most people just take this blue pill, try this for 30 days." You'd be like, "Hold on, I want to ask some questions first."
Yeah.
So I think a lot, not all insurance agents, but some insurance agents operate that way. They're like, most people take this. It's like, well, maybe we should figure out actually what do you need?
Right.
What do you have at stake? What are we trying to protect here? So I think that's where we bring value is
Yeah.
we want to advise our clients, not just try to sell them products they don't need. We want every client to know exactly what they need and need exactly what they have. We don't want to try to sell things that people don't need. So
Right.
I think
Okay.
that's where we bring value. We may not always be the cheapest. I fingers crossed we are,
Yeah.
but I think that's where we bring value is having someone who is advising you so that you never have to think about your insurance.
Right. So what are some examples of people that you've helped in recent, months that stand out?
Yeah,
So that might help people who, I don't know, that even me, like, I
yeah,
was just talking to a guy the other day. I was like, he mentioned something like, "Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I can
yeah,
insure myself with that.
yeah,
Wow, I better start thinking about that."
yeah.
So I don't know. Tell us some stories of how you're helping people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just thinking about that whole, people being overinsured and underinsured, I see a lot of that. So I was working with an older client, single lady, and she had like a $2 million umbrella policy, and we were working through. We went through what we call the liability exposure worksheet. That sounds super insurancy and nerdy, but it really helps you figure out, okay, what do those limits need to be set at? And it was nowhere near $2 million. So we actually saved her money because she didn't need a $2 million umbrella policy.
Uh,
Um,
and
so
an
I
umbrella
mean,
policy is
so umbrella policy is just extra limits of liability that go on top of your home and your auto insurance. Yeah.
okay. So it's
So
like extra, extra, extra
yeah, it
stuff.
gives you that extra protection. So I mean, so if your auto insurance you had for one occurrence you had $500,000 and your net worth was $800,000, you would have an exposure of $300,000. So if the worst was to happen and you got hit, or you hit someone else and hurt them, um, that $300,000 would be what we're looking to cover with an umbrella, if
Right.
that makes sense. So
Yeah.
so anyway,
Okay.
so there's clients like that who just have been sold things or been told they need something that they actually don't need. And then a lot of other clients that I've worked with, especially younger clients, insurance agents will give them just the cheapest coverage they can get so they can write that policy. And I mean, really, it's negligent. It's not caring for people or their
Okay.
families. Like I couldn't write something like that, and sleep at night knowing that, if something was to happen, their family would, be at
Okay.
risk.
Wow.
So that's kind of what I've seen. I've had, like, even, I had a friend of mine who was just graduated medical school, was going into residency, had those two letters before his name now, and had state minimum liability. And it's like, oh man, all right, we need to really think about, if you did get into an accident and someone, they see those two letters in front of your name, and they're gonna try to sue you for your garnish your wages 20% for 20
Oh,
years. So it's that was a big one. So young professionals, and then older people who haven't, like, reviewed their insurance recently and maybe have had suggestions, um, that may not be the best fit for them. So I think those have been some people that I've helped recently. And then even with my own, so whenever I was transferring over from my previous provider to Country, I was like, hey, I'm going to move the home, move the auto, but can we keep the life insurance in place? And she's like, oh, you don't have life insurance. And I was like, I had my baby was, or let's see. So we were like a week out from the due date,
yeah.
and, I had taken that policy out when we first got married, and I was like, okay, so that I think that with I mean, it may have been miscommunication, but I think the agent told me, he's like, hey, it'll just come into your monthly payment with your auto. And so I figured it was just in there with my auto insurance.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, wow. I was silent for a second, and then I said to Leia, I was like, well, thank goodness I didn't die. And
Yeah.
she started laughing, and I was like, all right. And then she's like, yeah, we have all your blood work, everything. We just don't have the policy in place. And I was like, oh my goodness, like that's huge. That could have cost my
Yeah.
family a lot.
Yeah.
Something that we thought we had coverage for. So I think that's another value that we bring to the table, is that, first of all, like, I'll follow up. That wouldn't happen. I'd have a conversation like, hey, even if I just want to make sure that this is not something you want, and we're not
Yeah.
just dropping the ball on it. Or
That's good.
we have client annual reviews. So this is to make sure you have everything that you think is insured is insured. Your life insurance policies and your beneficiaries are in place, and, like, nothing has changed. And make
Is
sure
it like
that
a phone call you do once a year with a client, or?
yeah, once a
Okay.
year. So we just, make sure they have all the discounts, all the policies that they think are in place, all the vehicles that they think are insured. We just want to make sure all of that is, like, we're on the same page, and they can ask any questions. So I think that's something that's,
Well,
that's where we
when you
want
were
to add value.
saying that about thank goodness I didn't die, that reminded me. I have a friend at church in Franklin,
Yeah,
and she was married, you know, to a different person along, maybe, I don't know, it was like 10 years ago, 12,
yeah,
15 years ago, and they had been married a couple years. They had a young
yeah,
daughter, and he passed unexpectedly,
yeah,
and it was a shock,
yeah,
like
yeah,
some crazy weird health thing happened and he was gone.
yeah,
And it's a heartbreaking story. You hear him, but it's it's gone on. God's really done something with it since then. But, like,
yeah,
holy moly, like, they went through some really hard, challenging seasons, of with just her and her young daughter, and
yeah,
she had been telling her husband or I think she was like, make sure you take care of this.
Yeah.
And he did
Yeah.
not, because it was just
Yeah.
one thing on the list, and
Yeah.
whatever, he didn't do it because he was probably
Yeah.
like 35. I don't know. But
Yeah.
he hadn't updated something.
Yeah.
Um, and so wild
Yeah,
stuff
man.
can happen.
That's terrible. And I mean, I think everybody has their stories like that. Someone they knew, or um, even a spouse or a parent that they thought something was in place that wasn't. And the last thing you want to think about during that time is money, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
so it's I've heard it called love insurance. It's like that's what we do for people that we love. We make sure these things are in place,
Yeah.
and that can feel super overwhelming. But say, like, what we try to do with, like, it's not a fun subject to talk about or think about, but part of our process is we call it the dime calculator, and it goes through your debt, your income, your mortgage, and your expenses, and just trying to figure out, okay, bring life insurance from a theoretical number, like, all right, I need 2.5 million, bring that down into like a concrete number that we're like, okay, well, we actually, like, if I passed away, I don't want my wife to have to take care of the mortgage. So we're going to make sure the mortgage is covered on that. I'd like to leave $50,000 to my kids. And so I think that's where we, because it can be overwhelming. Like, I don't even know. So I'm just not going to do anything. So you know, that's what we want to help people with, just understanding the need and also just walking them through it. So,
Do you see that
yeah.
a lot? Do you see people without life insurance a lot?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I think that would be the majority of people I talk to, um, or that they have life insurance through work, and it's, one times their salary or 1.5 times their salary, and I think it's kind of a bonus. But if you leave jobs, or if you get sick for an extended period of time and you lose your job, like, that's a way. And some of those policies are accidental death, so it's only covering you if you're going to or from work. So
Yeah.
that's, it's something to think about.
So what is the reason why somebody wouldn't have it? Do they think it's too expensive, though they don't even ask, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of those things would be, like what you said earlier. It's just another thing on the list. I'm healthy. I'm young. I don't think I really need it. I think that's, not understanding the need. Feeling like, I think it's like 65% of people think life insurance is more expensive than it really is.
Okay.
So I think that's another big point. And yeah, I think those would be the, not understanding the need and then thinking it's going to be more expensive than, what it
Okay.
really would be. Yeah.
So if somebody is like on the edge of doing it, is there like something like, at least do this, like you can
Yeah.
start them there at least, and then
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
move up later or something?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's so many life insurance
Okay.
products. You have term life, which is like renting your life insurance. So you pay a certain amount every month, and then at the end of that 20 or 30-year term, you don't get anything in return. It's just, you just had that term life insurance policy, that has a death benefit if you do pass away in between that term. And then there's whole life policies. There's index universal whole life. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can
Right.
do with life insurance. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, where we live in Dave Ramsey country, and he's like, get term life insurance and invest the rest, and that's the kind of
Okay.
what he would recommend. I mean, I think there's a lot of different opinions on that, but I think that what you should at least start out with is a term life insurance policy. Because if you're worried about price and whatnot, like, that's at least somewhere to start, and you can always add to. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but
Very cool. Is there some other, like, this is your chance to talk to people? Is there something else we didn't touch on that you want to tell people, like questions you hear a lot, or anything? Just let
yeah,
anything we haven't touched on.
for sure. Um, Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing. I mean, we want to help people, we want to advise people. Even if it doesn't make sense to go with us, I mean, I'm going to point you to a great insurance agent who might be down the road, who can still help you and just take those recommendations with you. So that's our big thing. We want to help people, and if you haven't looked at your insurance recently, and you're like, man, I'm not sure what I have. I don't even know if I have a life insurance policy in place, or I want to get a second opinion on my work life insurance. I mean,
Right.
it's too important not to talk about it and not to at least have a conversation. So
Right.
that's what we want to do. We want to help people through just being an advisor and someone you can trust along the way. So
And I mean, auto insurance is the biggie everybody has for sure,
yeah,
or they
yeah.
better. But isn't it like,
Actually,
didn't you say, you told me, I think 1 out of 4 in Tennessee
one
does not have it? What is it?
one in five.
Okay.
There's 1 out of 5 drivers in Tennessee do not have insurance. Yeah, or uninsured motorists. So that's a big thing. You want to make sure you have coverage
Yeah.
in place, and it's called underinsured or uninsured motorists, and that protects you if
Protects you
you
against their problems.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. So that's always important, and making sure that's up to date.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you able, I mean, everybody's big question is, can I get it cheaper with you? Everybody wants to check that, right? So am I paying too much for my auto
Yeah.
insurance? Have you been able to save people money there in your
Oh yeah.
experience?
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the ladies I was working with, she was with a company for 50 years, and I was like, hey, she's a good friend of mine. We go to small group together. I was like, hey, do you like? She was telling me how much she was paying. I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. And so I called them to lower down all my coverages. And I was like, oh boy, yeah. Let's take a look at that. And we literally got her 5 times as much coverage and saved her a couple $100.
Oh, a
Um,
month or
no, for 6 months. For six
okay,
over
yeah,
six
right.
months, we
Oh
saved
my
her.
goodness.
Yeah, a couple $100, and it was so that was really helpful for her. I mean, she just felt like someone was caring for her,
Yeah,
and she's literally had that company for 50 years and didn't know a single agent there, and was just going in dropping coverages because she felt like she was paying too much, and she's retired and was like, I don't want this cutting in. And then we've helped a lot of people with teen drivers. We've got really good rates with teen drivers. So
okay.
um, again, save the client of mine a couple $100 every 6 months from just going with us because we were cheaper with teenage drivers and
That's a
youthful
biggie
drivers.
right
So
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
push that one,
that's
parents. Go talk to
yeah,
Avery.
right. Yep. So those are things we do well.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
anyone who
it doesn't hurt anyone to just call you and see what you can do, if you can do
yeah,
anything. Yeah.
yeah. If we can save you money, we have saved a lot of people money. We don't always, but we'll at least make sure you're properly insured. And I mean, no
Right.
one likes paying for insurance. No one wants to get more insurance. But
Right.
the day that I had a lady recently that I was hearing about. One of my coworkers, he said I tried to give her an umbrella policy that she really needed. She denied it, and then had this $1 million lawsuit over her. And he said he was staying in contact with her, and she was like, I would pay $2,000 for that umbrella policy right now. And it was a $200 policy for the year. So I mean, it's you know
So this is something that she didn't get, but then she needed it. She
yeah,
wishes she would have got it.
yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
that is there's always things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, y- we yeah, I'm somebody who doesn't think about this stuff personally very much,
yeah, yeah,
but whenever I talk with an insurance guy, I'm like, oh, these people are important people in our lives. Like,
yeah,
but we see insurance ads all over the place, but
yeah,
it
yeah,
it makes it so that we get a little bit blind to it all.
yeah,
Because, well, especially with the TV ads and everything, we don't really. I mean, it's just become, oh, insurance, whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I definitely think I mean, until I started this job, it's like now I see every insurance billboard, every insurance commercial, and like I'm
yeah,
hyper aware of it now. And I'm like, oh, we beat their rates last week, or
yeah,
whatever. But it is, I think it's something that we can overlook and we don't want to think about. And
yep,
it's honestly, we don't even really need to think about it until the worst happens.
yeah, yeah,
But it'd be good to have a conversation before that goes through, even just to understand, man, what do I have? What's
yep,
going on here, and
totally.
just get tailored, personalized recommendations on what you need. So
That's great,
that's
man. I hope people are encouraged to do that, just have a second look at whatever they've got. And where can people find you? I assume you have an office somewhere.
yeah. I've got an office down on Trotwood, but the best way to find me, I've got a website, Avery Worstell, countryfinancial.com. You'll be able to pull me up pretty quick. So
Awesome.
that's the best way to find me. Yep.
Okay. And is it cool if people just give you a call? Is that, or
Absolutely.
what's the
Yep.
best thing?
Yep. I mean, call my cell phone. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can put it down in the description, but
Okay. But it's on the
um,
website, right?
yeah, it's on there. Yep. Call my
Okay.
cell. I'll answer anytime, day and night.
Awesome.
Just want to be a resource for people. So
Love it. Well, I can testify. I've known Avery a little bit now. He's a good guy, friendly guy. Um, he'll treat you right. So, um, yeah, that's good. You got anything else you want to say?
no, man, I really
All right.
appreciate you, Gabe. It's been fantastic. Thanks for you
Awesome.
ask great questions. Even when we have our one-on-ones, it's like you always ask great questions. So
Awesome.
um, just encouraging to be around you, man. Appreciate you.
Love it. Okay. We'll see you all next time. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. Bye.